What's up, guys? It's Angie B with BallerAlert. We are here with the wonderful Kerry Washington and Tracy McMillan. First of all, we have to get into Unprisoned. This is based on your real life.
Yeah.
Inspired by.
Yeah.
It's not easy to be vulnerable and share your story at all. That is not an easy thing to do, especially when you've gone through different things. Everybody has had their own traumatic experiences. You know, it's not easy to be vulnerable. So I wanted to say thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for that.
I mean, I'm not more vulnerable than this woman.
Yeah.
In a different way, you
Different
know.
ways.
For sure.
ways,
And
yeah.
we'll touch on that. We'll touch on that for sure. So the series tackles complexities of the criminal justice system, which can sometimes be an extremely touchy subject. Whose idea was it to lighten the conversation by adding the humor to it? It kind of lightens the mood a bit, doesn't make it too serious. Whose idea was that?
It's who she is, right? Like Tracy, as you said, the show is inspired by Tracy's life, and her dad, bless him, who was in and out of prison her whole life, but in for the majority of her life. And but when you meet Tracy, she is light. You know, she is a miracle, and she walks through the world with a lot of joy and laughter. She has an incredible perspective, and so I think that's what you get when you watch the show. You really get the reality and the truth of many of the circumstances that Tracy walked through, but also her particular hilarious take on the world.
I mean, if you can't, I mean, things are funny. I just think things are funny. Even hard things are funny. Tragic things have humor. Like,
Life is funny.
it is.
When you're being really honest,
Yeah.
life is funny.
I mean, we were saying this earlier. It's like, you know, God is everywhere. And I mean, really, like, God is the humor. That's where you go, oh, okay, no one's not having a human experience. So how do we bring, like, maximum perspective to the, you know, goings on?
Yeah,
you know,
no, that's
in life.
a perfect way to put it, because I think sometimes when you take it too seriously, it can be heavy.
Exactly.
It can be heavy, and that's draining.
And sometimes heavy is real.
Yeah.
And sometimes light is real. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, all the things are happening all the time. So it's just about what are you going to activate in your own as you move through life. Which part of these things are you going to activate?
Oh, that's so good.
How are you going to carry it?
Yeah, that's good. I love that. You excel in every role you take on.
You're kind.
I'm absolutely serious. What is it like when it comes to handling strong connections with the viewers? You know, the viewers have strong connections to your characters, literally all of them. Of course, Olivia Pope. How was it like transitioning into these new roles, knowing that they have this connection to someone else?
Oh, that's interesting. You know, before Scandal, I really thought of myself as a character actor. Like, people never really connected that the girl from Save the Last Dance was the same girl from Ray, was the same girl from Last King of Scotland. So I had a really exciting career, but
It didn't get in the way of my life. I was kind of able to fly under the radar because those people thought those were three different people. And Olivia Pope changed that because she became such a household name. But I'm really drawn to the challenge of being different kinds of women in different circumstances, in different times. Like, that's one of the things I love most about my job, is not being the same person over and over again, but getting to learn from new characters again and again in different kinds of projects. So for me, it's a joy. I have so much love and gratitude for Olivia Pope. But every role I've ever played is like one of my little children. I love them all.
I believe that 100%. Were you hesitant at any point to put this script out?
Not really. No.
What was
I'd
your
already
feeling towards it?
I'd already written a memoir, and I just knew that, you know, somebody said to me early on, you have to write what only you can write. And it's like the greatest use of the gift or the talent or your energy is to put something into the world that another person couldn't do.
Right.
And not because it's not better or worse. It's just like, okay,
You're
so
unique.
I have, I mean, I don't know how many writers in the history of television writing had dads who were in prison their whole lives. I'm going to say it wasn't very many, because it's a pretty privileged group of people. So I was like, okay, if I'm here, then I have to tell this story because this story needs to be told.
Absolutely. And I see the impact that it's having on the masses. I'm reading the tweets. I'm watching how people are responding on TikTok and YouTube, and they're really receptive to it, mostly because people can relate.
Yeah.
And people like, relatability because we see things on screen all the time, and people watch TV to escape, usually, and then sometimes they watch and they can relate. And these are one of those moments with Unprisoned that we really value and that the viewers value and the fans value. So I have to let you know that's what they're saying.
Thank you.
Relatable. You're very welcome. Which one of your previous characters would fit into the role of Unprisoned? Mia Warren from Little Fires Everywhere, Olivia Pope from Scandal, or Kendra Ellis from American Son? Who would fit best into the world of Unprisoned?
Oh, wow. Probably Kendra from American Son.
I can see that.
Because she was kind of rubbing up against the criminal justice system in very different ways. But also because that show was, and the film is weirdly funny at times when you think it's going to be dark, because it's real life. It's like the difficult stuff of being in relationship and being vulnerable. And so I think both those worlds have a similar kind of it's funny because it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad that we're touching on this because we want to know what to expect in Unprisoned Season 2. Well, we'll end it with that question.
Okay.
Tough conversations are not easy to have, and many were had in the series. I love tough conversations. I'm one of the very few people that I know that like tough conversations, but they really, really get to the nitty gritty of a person. And instead of listening to maybe argue, I do my best to listen to understand because those tough conversations bring that out of people. So which one of the hardest conversations you all had to tackle, which one did you say it took maybe some time to prepare for?
Inside the show or outside of the show?
Hey, tell me both.
Well, no, I'm thinking what comes to mind is, that's a great question. It's a hard question to answer. I would say what comes to mind is, for me, around my dad's choices. One of the things that we are doing as a show is, and was our intention, is to show that just because you are a career criminal does not mean you're a bad person or not a caring parent, or I wanted to give America the experience that most people would have when they would meet my dad, which was, what a lovely man.
Right.
But at the same time, you sort of have to go, okay, he made these choices. He did.
Right.
And so how do we, and honestly, I'm going to say that is something that is probably a season 3 question, deeply. You know what I mean? Because really, right now, it's just about how to get established outside of prison,
right?
And start to put the family back together.
Yeah, I can see that. I think one of the conversations about having to adjust to the fact that as you're getting older, you kind of, in a way, are becoming a parent to your parents. I think that everyone kind of sees that in a way as they're getting older when it comes to their parents. So that was a very interesting conversation, or something that I took out of season 1 for sure. Season 2, what can we expect? The viewers are excited. I'm excited. What is next with Unprisoned season 2?
I think in season 2, everybody has a sense that they need to be liberated, right? In season 1, we were really focused on Edwin's freedom and his liberation, psychologically, emotionally. I think in season 2, we really lean into the idea that the whole family needs healing, that it's not just him, that we all have stuff that we're working on and working through, and we go into family therapy to try to do that. And hilarity ensues. John Stamos plays our family therapist, and he is just bananas. So funny.
Very chef's kiss.
Yes, yes.
So that's exciting. The humor, we absolutely enjoyed it, and the serious conversations as well. It's necessary. Last question. Father's Day is coming up. Do you all have any plans with your husband, fathers, anything going on?
my dad has passed, so we won't be doing anything there except for like remembering him and
Of course.
just, being grateful for his influence in my life. And, he lives on.
Absolutely.
He really does.
100%. Absolutely.
I was actually just upstairs working on my cards to both my dad and my husband. So
The dreamy.
So nice.
Thank you all so much. And we're super excited for season 2 and the story that you
Thank
guys are
you.
bringing. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
you.